What I wanted to do on today's video is I kind of just really wanted to get to know you guys a little bit more and update you on what essentially I've been doing, because I feel like it's been such a long time since I just sat down and for real talked to you guys. But what I really wanted to do is I really wanted to just start kind of just being more authentic and kind of just doing on this channel what I was originally doing, which was pick a cards but also spells and talking a little bit about paranormal stuff. And honestly, the feeling I was getting was, oh well, you know, I'll lose my subscribers because I'm changing things up. But honestly guys, one of my biggest dreams was to be an astrologer, a professional medium, professional tarot reader, maybe have my own show, be on a ghost hunting paranormal show, you know, just like be someone who's just really well known for their research on astrology and tarot. And that's what I decided I wanted for myself ever since 2 years ago when my channel took off. And also I just realized I became so anal retentive about stuff like, okay, the camera angle has to be at a perfect spot, I have to have the lights set up a certain way, I have to say everything perfectly, so I have to go over in my head exactly what I'm gonna say after getting the message instead of just letting the message come out authentically. And I was just not really liking the person I was turning into, because, you know, I just really wanted so badly to make something of my life that I kind of lost myself in the process. And I know I'm putting this video out there, it's like risky, I get it, but I don't want to just be pick a card girl anymore or like tarot reader girl. I just want to do things that I find inspiring. Psychic, tarot reading, astrology, the occult's always going to be a big part of my life, but it's not all of my life. It's just getting to the point with my YouTube channel where I was trying so hard to make this vision of mine come true that I lost myself and my personality in that vision. But it's been good the last few months because I've really had a chance to find myself. To be honest with you guys, like, I don't know where life is heading for me. I'm actually really lost myself. But what I do, like the reason why my channel was getting better, my pick a cards were getting better, was because I just spent like the last 6 months really working on myself, and that's why I was able to give better messages, because they were coming from personal experience. One thing about life is it is never certain, and it's easy to get very bitter about things, but I'm a firm believer. So there's this, okay, so first of all, there is this one movie called Signs, and in that movie, in Signs, there's a scene where the aliens are invading and the guy looks over and the guy's like looking for comfort about the alien invasion because it's scary. And then the guy was like, well, are you a miracle man or are you a things just happen because they happen man? And I realized that I'm a miracle man. So one thing is, like, I realized I can't live the way I was living for the longest time here on YouTube, because it just took away my authenticity and my, you know, my spunk, because I was trying so hard to make a brand name for myself because I wanted to be successful. Because growing up, to be honest with you guys, I never really had like nice things. I never was anybody. Growing up, like, I was always underestimated. You know, that's the thing about it. No one can tell you what your destiny is. All I know is that I can continue trying to be a brand for myself because I'm a human being, and as much as I really like the money and the success, I hope you guys understand that I'm just gonna start being more authentic and start being more like me personality wise. So it's not gonna be as perfect like, hi guys, okay, so this is this and this and that, because that's not me. The message is me, the soul is me, but the way I was acting and portraying myself was not me. And the biggest thing that I want to do on this channel is show you guys that spirituality is not about being perfect. It's not about crystals or tarot cards or channeling this, that, third. It's about, you know, helping yourself and helping others help themselves based on your experiences. Because I never had a big sister growing up telling me, okay, this is what this means if a guy does this, and you know, this is how you handle your spiritual abilities, and this is what you do in order to be a better person. No one ever told me any of that. So that's why I'm doing this channel, is I want to share my spiritual gifts, help you with your spiritual gifts, but I want to do it in a way that's authentic and less like Stargirl, the Practical Witch, the company and corporation, you know, because I hate that. I mean, in tropical, I'm an Aquarius moon, that's like anti-me. But essentially, guys, anyway, growing up, I didn't really have a lot of money. I remember I always wanted remember I just always wanted to do something great. I always wanted to help people. So like before this, I tried to do social work. I went to school for social work. I really just wanted to help people, like troubled youth that no one else believed in, honestly, because I was one of those kids. Essentially, I kind of wanted to quit because I wasn't able to be myself. I like to put fake tattoos on my face. One day I might get a real one. I like tattoos. I like dressing and expressing myself the way I want. So I really wasn't cut out for that conservative field of social work. And also because I've always just really liked the idea of performing. I wanted to be an actress. I wanted to be a musician. I liked the idea of performing because I love art and I love performance art. But I was always so shy and I never had the courage. So I did YouTube because, I can help people and also I can show them all my fun witchy things. And I know I was talking to my friend about this and she's like, well, you have a lot of transits right now that say you shouldn't do anything risky to your channel because of everything going on and, a fall from grace of career. But that's what made me really want to do it, because even if it's risky and even if, you guys don't stick around with me for it, it's just like I need to have a breath of fresh air. I mean, you know what I mean? I just love real YouTubers, and that's what I want to do. I want to be real, and I want to encourage other people to be real. I'm still witchy, I'm still spiritual, but I'm a rock star at the end of the day. That's what I was doing before YouTube. And there's this like law of attraction guy that I love, Ultra Spiritual Life. He has this thing making fun of law of attraction people where essentially like they manifest but they have no action, and he says like, well, in order to manifest great change you have to do inspired action that's different than what you would normally do. So that's what I'm going to start doing. I'm going to start doing things that are different than I would normally do. So if anyone does music seriously and wants to hit me up and look at my demo, and I don't know, out there, anyone watching this, if you guys want to work on a music project and you guys don't mind that, I'm more of a songwriter and you want to make some cool art and music videos, hit me up. I'm serious. Let's make a music project, because and guys, like, that's the thing about it. It's life's too short. If you're not happy, if things aren't going the way you want, just let it go, and you're so free, and go after what you want. And sometimes bad things that happen that's taken away are really honestly blessings in disguise to free you from something that was constricting you, even though it looks like God hates you and God is against you and all this stuff. And you know what else? One thing you will notice, like when you guys have a following, even if it's not a lot, like 100,000, people treat you different. They like all of a sudden they're nice to you, this and that. Like, and now I'm wondering, like, okay, who likes me because of me and who likes me because of my following? It's not even like I have that much. That's why I feel bad for famous people. And I know this is a shallow world. I'm not slow. I know, well, some people disagree. I know this is a shallow world, and I know people care about that stuff. But at the end of the day, like, I just reached this point in my life, and it's so beautiful when you get there, where it's like, even like I had it in my head so bad, like all I wanted was to be somebody. When you finally have that realization, I'm so sorry. When you finally have that realization that you don't have to be successful to be worth something, and in your mind you finally let that go, that's the most beautiful thing. And I know it's really easy to be judgmental and say, oh, well, because you wanted to be successful, make something of yourself, you're vain and you're shallow. Maybe I am, actually, because one thing is that we all have a dark side, and we often like to suppress it because we don't like to look at ourselves like the bad guy. But one of my dark sides is I really wanted so bad to be somebody in this world. And it's always been that way. It's always been this way. And I have just now realized that when I was the happiest was when I was doing basement music in Nashville, in South Carolina, when I was going to beauty school, not actually doing beauty school, but when I was doing that and like, you know, just living out of my suitcase, trying to run away to Nashville to, in my mind, I was going to Nashville because I was gonna fall in love with a music producer and he was gonna make my music dreams happen because I'm so naive and stupid. Up until this year, I was really naive and stupid. But essentially, when I was in my early 20s, that was my dream, was to move to Nashville and marry a great musician, artist, whatever, and make albums and music videos because I love film. I want to make music videos. I bought a really expensive camera for it. But anyway, we're also concerned with hiding our dark side from the world. And I do this too. That's why I think I put on that Stargirl, the Practical Witch persona, because it was a way for me to not really face a lot of the things about myself and kind of just put on that Gemini rising fairy cutesy mask because it was just easier. That's the thing about our bad sides. It's not something we should judge in ourselves and others unless you're purposely harming yourself and other people. As long as you consciously work on yourself and you realize like the deeper meanings behind some of your toxic behaviors and you try to take accountability, because at the end of the day, none of us are perfect. All of us have a dark side, and mine was I just wanted so bad. I would have done anything. It got to, you know, it's like there's nothing wrong with that. It's just that if you lose yourself in the process, that's not good, right? But essentially, this video I'm putting out, I don't even know what I'm going to title it, but I told you guys I would tell you more stories about me growing up. I was a really, really bad kid. Really bad. I brought drugs to school. I got high at school. I would skip school to go to my 19-year-old boyfriend's house when I was 14. I lived a very dysfunctional and sad life for most of my life. And I can't really say there's anyone to blame. I could say, oh, well, it's because my parents got a divorce and they didn't know how to handle me and raise me. Or I could say, oh, it's because, you know, my parents messed me up and it's this, that, the third. I really don't know why. I think I've just always been someone who's been in a lot of pain. Like a lot of pain, and I hate saying that because it's so whiny when there's so many people who had it worse than me, but I just remember I've always felt things like really hard, really intensely, but I wasn't able to express it. I would just bottle it up, and you know, I would think I was numb or didn't feel anything for the longest time, and then I'd have days where I'd just break down and go crazy and wouldn't know why, and I would end up in the Shepherd Pratt or the hospital where they would detain me and put me, you know, places, and then I got sent to a special school for juvenile delinquents where they monitor you and walk you to the halls. And I just remember, you know, my whole life I just saw things in a really negative way. I remember like I would watch the teachers bully the kids at school because they were slower, and I just had a really skewed view on life from a young age. I just saw things that made me grow up really fast and made me realize that life is not that great. Essentially, like I found out like in really horrible ways how the world works, and because I surrounded myself with those kind of people because that's the kind of the level I was at growing up. And also just because I felt like I fit in more with those kind of people than I did normal people. I couldn't relate to, you know, going over to a sleepover and seeing people's parents like act all normal, making hamburgers, watching the football game, and just like being a normal family. I didn't understand that, and I didn't relate to that. I didn't relate to socially to a lot of people my age, and I don't know why that is. And I just related better to people who were using drugs and not the right crowd. It's just I felt like I was accepted there, and that's just essentially what happened. And I was just a really depressed kid. And I guess just like when my YouTube channel blew up 2 years ago, I finally felt like it was my it was like my saving grace. I was like, God's finally heard me. God's finally taking me out of this life. Like, I mean, I worked at this club for many years, on and off, you know. I literally thought that after all these years of praying and praying for something to make me want to keep going, that God finally answered my prayers with YouTube success. And I was like, see, I knew it. This is my destiny. I meant to be great, and I meant to help lots of people. I knew life wasn't meant to be like this, but what I've realized is that success has its own problems and struggles and depressions. And, you know, I'm really glad I got some sort of notoriety that I've always wanted, because what I've realized is that, you know, even if you get what you want, like I know a lot of you want to be famous singers and musicians and actors, and that's amazing. But even when you kind of get what you want, I'm not even at like fame stage. I got a taste of it. What I can say is there's still the problems and struggles and challenges. I can't even imagine how artists nowadays feel. Probably like they have to, like, when bands grow out of their old sound and they get chastised for being different, but they evolve because they're so stuck. Because once you make a name for yourself, you're stuck in this mold of what you created. And if you change that, people don't like it and it becomes your trademark. So I can only imagine how these bands feel. I can only imagine how a lot of YouTubers feel even. So it's just crazy. Even success, you think you'll be happy, but no, because then what happens is you can't be friends with anyone. You can't trust anyone. People want you for this, that, the third, or they hate you because of your success, or you're not successful enough to hang out with certain people. So it's like you're alienated, at least I was. And one thing about the law of attraction is you'll be like, well, you could just manifest all of this away. Yeah, true. Positive mindset manifests blessings. But honestly, what I did not like about the law of attraction was how it made you feel like you're in control of everything and you have to anally, repetitively repeat things over and over. Some things are just up to God. But anyway, guys, add me on my backup Instagram, Lilith Ascendant, at Lilith Ascendant. It is my store, so I will be advertising on there, but I'm also going to be posting pick a card. So I greatly appreciate that if you felt like it. And this is the direction of my new main channel. That's all I have to say about that. So I hope you guys like it. Love you guys a lot. Bye.